This video is brought to you by Holocasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description. Hello and welcome everyone to our 99th session of Holocasa. My name is Michael and today I'm talking to Jean Delva from New Jersey in the USA. Jean has been working in real estate for over 10 years and is operating in the New Jersey and New York area, focusing on multi-family units and some high-value commercial real estate. Jean, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm super pumped to have you. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hey, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me, Franz. I appreciate it. I actually don't do interviews, and when you reached out to me, and I took a look at your platform and see what see what you guys were doing, and I just couldn't pass out on this opportunity. And I just want to say thank you again for having me. Yeah.
That's amazing to hear. I'm really happy and excited that it made you buy in and join me, and that we have a discussion about real estate in the New Jersey area. You have been operating for a lot of years already. Why don't you give us like an overview of New Jersey in general, quick overview for people who haven't been there. How can we imagine the city and also its surroundings?
I would say New Jersey is a very interesting state because this is one of the countries that, whatever you want, you will find it here. If you want a fast-paced lifestyle, you will get it in the northern part of New Jersey. If you want a laid-back, more suburban, quiet area, then you will find it going further down south. And the other thing most people don't realize in New Jersey, we have a lot of high-end communities.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a lot of celebrities that live in New Jersey. We have a lot of gay communities. This is a really interesting place to be, and we have so many different neighborhoods, so many different backgrounds, it's you will find there's something here for everybody, whether you're from a Jewish background, you're Italian, whether you're from the Caribbean, there's something here for everyone.
Perfect. It's actually a very interesting segue towards New Jersey as a state. Where are you exactly located, and which area and which city is it that you are focusing on the most?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what happened during the pandemic. New Jersey had become a very hot area. This is where there's a lot of renovation, a lot of transformation going on. The neighborhoods, they were a little bit run down prior to the pandemic, but I guess the investors had made a decision that the northern part of New Jersey, specifically Newark, and East Orange, South Orange, these areas, they made a decision that this is the area that they want to bring up, that they want to, change. And as a result, the strangest thing happened. A lot of my New York clients, they started asking me for help in purchasing in New Jersey. And at the time, I didn't have a license. But I got tired of sending my business over to the other agents. I said, hey, man, I need a piece of this pie. So after sending all these clients to the agents, I decided, you know what, let me get my license. And I actually originally from New Jersey. I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey. I'm originally from Haiti. And I went to school in Rutgers, Newark, which is in Newark, New Jersey. So I was already familiar with the area. And I just felt like it was best for me to get my license because all this business going to Newark and all these people coming to me, it just made perfect sense. Even though my love was really in New York City, I started doing business in Manhattan. I did a good amount of business in Brooklyn, some in Queens, but it just, I wouldn't say common sense, but when the signs are in the air.
Totally. Totally. I just thought about like when the timing hits the expertise and also your inheritance, basically where you're from. So it's like this intersection and you just say, okay, I can't say no. It's just like,
yeah.
it's definitely a sign to move forward. How would you basically so we have like a lot of movement going on from New York City to New Jersey, especially like during the COVID pandemic and stuff. A lot of people buying, I guess, a lot of people searching. You said, you know what, like let me close shop in New York City and let me move upstate. What did you see there, like as a movement on? Was it mainly families trying to get more space for a multi-family unit or one-time family units? Was it that even commercial businesses started to look for things? What was it for you, like the experience during the COVID time period, as in from New York City up to New Jersey?
You know what? To be honest with you, the strangest thing happened. During the pandemic, I realized that the areas like Newark, and some other areas, Irvington, those places were giving a bad rap, and I come to realize that Newark or Irvington is just like any other city in Brooklyn, right? You have your certain sections where I wouldn't go there, you know what I'm saying? And then 4 or 5 blocks over, it's incredible, right? And then so that was this is one of the first thing I realized. And then when I started coming to Jersey, I started exploring different neighborhoods. I couldn't believe it, it was so much that was being hidden from us that we didn't know about New Jersey. And then, the pandemic kind of lift up the veil, and kind of showed us what's going on. And to be honest with you, I didn't realize people were living this good in New Jersey, man. And I think they kept it a secret on purpose. Yeah, I mean, you have East Orange, you have Montclair. I mean, it's like, like there's this area called Montclair, New Jersey. Honestly, I was there the other day. I thought I was in California. The street was so wide, the houses are so big and so luxurious. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this been here? Oh man, you guys, that's not fair, man.
It's like, yeah. Go ahead, please.
So when I discovered that, I said, oh my God. And then, I kind of took that opportunity to show my clients, these areas and all the things that's going on in the northern part of New Jersey that a lot of people are not even aware of, and I came to appreciate New Jersey because when you compare the type of living lifestyle that you would get in New Jersey versus New York City, it's you can't even measure it. I mean, like right now, I recently moved to Irvington, New Jersey, and my living quarters, it's I have a dining room, huge bedroom, I have a space in the backyard, garage. I mean, I have so much space. It's hard for me to experience this lifestyle and then go back to staying in a small apartment. It's some of us don't have that ability to afford the huge space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's a good feeling to be able to work hard and then come home and see why you're working so hard, why you sacrifice.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up when you're killing yourself and making the sacrifices, and then you come home to a small, empty apartment, and then you barely have space to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also prior to our call, you also sent me some interesting links about like not only, let's say, what you get for your money, but also just surroundings, nature, trials or tracks where you can go hiking and stuff. Give us a quick overview of also like nature aspect in New Jersey and where you're from.
You know what? I'm gonna touch on it a little bit, but I'm not really a outdoorsy type of person. But New Jersey have a lot of recreational, I guess activities that you can get involved in. We have trails, we have a lot of parks. There's always a lot to do. That I would say. There's always the opportunity to immerse yourself with nature and just there's always something to do, and there's always how can I say it? Yeah, there's a lot of places you can go to kind of sit down, have a picnic, and just be one with nature. Yeah, we have, you can go hiking in Jersey. You can go maybe power sailing. Yeah,
So
there's a lot of
a lot of things to do outside, like as you say, like biking,
yeah, exactly.
hiking, and just enjoying the nature.
Yeah.
Going back to real estate, give us an overview maybe on price per square. How do you do it in the US? You do it price per square foot,
I would
or is it?
say per square feet. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's New Jersey. It wouldn't be fair. If I can put in numbers, I would say maybe 235 up to maybe 500. Per square feet. But at the same time, New Jersey is a very how can I say it? It's a very diverse type of state because for example, you have New Brunswick, where if you buy a house in New Brunswick, the house might come with an acre of land.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't so it's kind of hard to compare square footage of somebody that live in New Brunswick versus somebody who live in East Orange, where the price of land is much more expensive. But over I would say that the average square footage, I would say between 230, 250 up to 500 per square feet.
And have you seen any development? Any has it been like a spike because of COVID? Do you
Oh
think
my
it has
God.
changed?
Are you serious, man? Man, I've never, you know what, like this kind of remind me of I think it was 2011, 2012. This is where a lot of the investors have decided that they wanted to come and take over Williamsburg, Williamsburg was an area, I don't know if you remember, it was factories. It was somewhere where it was kind of sketchy to be caught even
Mm-hmm.
in that, you understand? But now it's waterfront apartments, and every piece of land is just incredibly valuable in Williamsburg. And then after that, they moved over to Crown Heights. I mean Bushwick, and
Mm-hmm.
then that went really quick. And then after Bushwick, it was Crown Heights. Then the places that nobody wanted to touch was Bed-Stuy. God forbid you send you send an investor a property in Bed-Stuy. They're like, really, Gene? You know what I think? And then they just started buying them. So it got to a point where I've seen an investor bought a property in Bed-Stuy for 400, did nothing to it, sell it back 6 months later for 800,000.
Wow.
And that person that bought it sold it for 1.3. It was just so much meat on that skin. But it's the same thing is going on in Newark. Newark. When I realized that that it was over for Newark? I remember I went to an appointment in Newark. I was showing somebody a property. It was a 2-family, and then when I went there, I saw a gentleman that I knew from Park Avenue, and he came to show that property. I'm like, what's going on, man? I got competition. What you doing here, man? I'm like, what? I'm like, I was like, what you doing here? He's like, Gene, man, it's hot over here, bro. I said, okay, but he was awesome. He gave me access, and then he was willing to co-book with me. But that was just a sign, just to show you that these are high end agents, like that are coming to these areas because they already know what's going on, and these properties are going by really fast. They're going over asking, and they're they're knocking the houses down, sometimes a whole block, and rebuilding. To be honest with you, the Newark is going to be a $1 million type of neighborhood. That
Mm-hmm.
the property is already going for 750, 650. I sold in 2021. I sold a property to a friend of mine for 360. That property is worth 650 now.
Wow.
And this was that last year? And it seemed like a long time, but it really went fast. So the equity of these properties are going up so fast that people can't really keep up. People can't keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. People can't keep up.
Do you think, what is your idea where the market is heading? If we see like so much of, let's say, valuation and so much of increase of price, do you think also right now with a potential market downturn and we don't know about the interest rate, the Fed, how the Fed is handling the interest rate, do you think, do you feel like, because you're talking to the people on the ground, you're talking directly like to the people, do you have like a sensation of the next steps or where the market is heading?
You know what? To be honest with you, right now, when the interest rates start rising, I guess I wasn't really mad because I'm assuming the banks, they were making good money, and but right now, to be honest with you, want my honest opinion, I think it's headed for. It's kind of bad because I've had many colleagues that are lenders that are a friend of mine, and their companies are going out of business because they went from closing 30, 40 deals to praying that they can do 10 or maybe 6 because like for example, I have about 15 clients that don't qualify.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So 15 people, that's a lot of people, and had that been 2019, 2020, I probably would have closed at least 6 or 7 of those, So, it's a very uncertain time in the US, and don't listen to people, man. You see people celebrating, saying we're making
Gotcha.
It's not easy to qualify, and having to pay 7%.
Is it the, I was about to ask you that, is that the average which you have to expect? Like, let's say a normal average salary, two heads at the family earning money, maybe 1 or 2 kids. That's basically what you get to pay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like right now, in order to qualify for a home at this moment, it's got to be a family effort. It's got to be 2 to 3 parties coming together, combining income, combining credit in order to qualify. And it's still not easy. It's tough.
Wow.
It's a lot of
Okay.
Yeah, because the market is becoming so tight. The banks are even becoming more. They're asking for a lot. I mean, like they might just ask you for your, for your DNA.
What is it? What's the normal down payment apart from your DNA? Like the normal percentage?
The normal percentage is 3.5%.
3.5.
3.5 is for an FHA.
No, wait. Like the down payment on the property price, I'm saying.
Yeah, the down. Okay, if this is your first time buying a house, the you can put down as low as 3.5%.
Only.
Yeah, if this is your first time, we have this thing called it's called FHA. This is a program that the government had created. This is just so that they can encourage the average person, like to like our mom or aunts, people like that, to be able to afford a home. So they guarantee.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, please, sorry.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're guaranteeing it, and they're allowing you to put 3.5%.
Is that something federal, or is that something for New Jersey state?
No, this is all across all across the board. Is federal.
Okay.
Yeah, all
Got
across
it.
the board. But at the same time, after you but there's different guidelines. Like if it's a commercial property over a certain, like if it's over 4 units, then it's considered commercial. Then you got to put down 20 to 30%.
Okay.
So they have guidelines. It's not like all across the board. Like you can't pick up 30 units paying 3.5%.
Yeah.
Up to 4 units. And then the other thing is your second property is considered conventional. Then you got to put down 10 to 20% depending on the lender.
Then the FHA, you say?
Yeah, FHA, it doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply anymore. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
The second, yeah, the second purchase.
And the normal term for the loan or for the mortgage, is it like 10 years and then fixed interest rate, or is it
It's 30
30?
years.
Okay, 30 years and then fixed interest rate or floating?
Fixed.
Okay, and then you have
Fixed.
to, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but
Okay.
even though fixed, you still got to be careful, you know. That's why as an agent, having a good agent on your side is definitely beneficial, because just because that's the norm, that doesn't mean that you can't be taken advantage of. You still have to have an agent to double check, make sure, you know, because I've had a situation where, you know, someone tried to give my client a jumbo loan, you know, stuff like that. It can happen.
Is it because, and I just know it from Europe, where the agent is basically not involved in the financing. In the US, you also, let's say, conduct a service of overseeing a little bit on together with the bank, the financing, and assist them and consult them.
Definitely. You know why? Because I'm gonna tell you something. You know, being an agent, if you're the type of agent where you just open the door, you show them a property, if they like it, they take it, and your job is done, then you know you shouldn't you should that person has not earned that commission. You know, an agent is somebody that's involved throughout the whole process. You know, I've been like I've helped clients qualify. I've helped clients get inspection done. I've also advised them in certain situations where I felt like, you know what, this is not a good deal. I think you should walk away, even though you know my commission was at stake. But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of my business comes from referral, and it's based on the way I treat people. So, um, you know, you do have to do those things. Sometimes you might have to tell somebody, hey, I think you should walk away from this, especially after the inspection report shows that, if you know, because you understand that someone, you know, a lot of these individuals, you know, they, you know, like for you and I, you know, we're doing okay. You know, we're making good money. We might make 10 here, 15 here, you know, but for the average person, for them to make 10 grand, that might take them 5 or 6 years, you know. So, you know, their first investment gotta be a good investment. Otherwise, it's over for them. You know what I mean? You understand? That's why I always make sure that number one, that the deal that they want, if they buy, if one of my clients buy a property, I can guarantee that they can sell next week and make 50 grand, or make 60 grand. If they can't do that, then I haven't done my job. You know, that investment has to be where if something happened, they can sell that property, pay off the lender, and walk away with dignity. You understand? You know, so to answer your question, I get involved in a lot of things, and that happened to me because of things that happened to me in the past through my experiences. I remember I had a client. For some reason, the seller, they were upset with my client, and my client was supposed to close at a certain time, and my client had a son that was ill, you know, and she gave up her apartment and she moved into her father's basement, and it wasn't a condition that was good for her son, but she did it because she said, you know what, I'm gonna close in 2 weeks. And next thing you know, a month go by, we still haven't closed. And then the sellers are upset. But so what I did was I took it upon myself. I reached out to the seller secretary and pretty much asked her, hey, listen, I thought we were on the same page. What's going on? Why is the seller upset? How come we can't move forward? Can you and I work together? Because you know the attorney, he's your boss. Me, I'm representing the buyer. At the end of the day, if we close the deal, we're both happy. You know, she decided to cooperate with me, and then she started sending me the documents. And then I looked over the documents, and I realized that our attorney was making mistakes on the contract. You know, at the time, this was the first time that I actually went ahead and looked over the contract, and I didn't want to do that because I felt like, you know, this isn't my job to do that. But because of her situation, I was somewhat I wouldn't say desperate, but I just wanted her to end up with the property. So I looked over it, and then when I found out the mistake, I realized why the seller was upset, you know. So, but I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I didn't even tell the seller. I told the buyer about it. I said, hey, listen, this is what's going on, but we're about to close, so we're not gonna make it hot. We're not even gonna confront this guy. What I've done is I've told the secretary to CC me on everything that's going back and forth, and then I can just be on top of it. And then, we ended up closing the deal because I fixed all the mistakes that was made, unbeknownst to the attorney, and got the deal done. And ever since that day, I got to be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be involved in everything because, she could have lost her deposit, and that's over 10 grand. You understand? So
How long,
yeah.
once you put it down and you go away from the deal again, you directly lose it, or is it also time bound?
You know what? It's not time bound. To be honest with you, you can lose your deposit, and sometimes if you lose your deposit, it doesn't necessarily mean that deposit went to the other party. It may just be up in the air. We're fighting back and forth for the money, and this can go on for years, maybe 5 years, maybe.
Okay.
And then that can get expensive. You don't want to keep fighting for $10,000 and spend $6,000 fighting for somebody to, so you don't want to be put in that situation in the first place.
Totally, I understand. And this is basically how you overcome it via very straightforward communication, being on top of it, so that like some basically unnecessary legal fees can be avoided easily.
Exactly. So basically, you can't just walk away from a deal. Once you put that deposit down, you can't just say, I don't want to buy it. But if, for instance, the inspection comes back and the property is not structurally safe,
mm-hmm.
There's reasons where you can just walk away and take off with the deposit. But for the most part, and to be honest with you, even at that, sometimes you might find some sellers who they might want to give you a hard time. So they may stretch that. You might, they might not want to give you back the deposit.
Yeah. Do you, you just mentioned inspector, do you always suggest to use like sort of a service which looks over it? And maybe some people use an appraiser. What's your idea there? What's your opinion there?
My opinion is to always do an inspection.
Okay.
Yeah, you should always get a thorough analysis of the homes. This is for your own record, And sometimes it's not just because, no house is perfect. Even a brand new house, you will find some slightly damages here and there, but it's just for your own record, just so when you move forward, what you might have to, work on or take care of and stuff like that. So you should always know what's going on with the property, and also too, something may come up that may be a deal breaker, or if the sellers cooperative, they may decide, since this is a deal breaker, I'll fix it. So this can save you a little bit of money. Yeah. I wouldn't depend. Even though the appraisers are they're very thorough, they'll make sure everything is. But you want to get your own people to take a look at it. Definitely.
Got it. How much do you have to budget for that on, let's say, average multi-family home, like 2K, 3K?
Yeah, for two family, I would say about $700.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good range.
Yeah.
I wanna touch upon the one comment which you put before, that you said you got your license for New Jersey because you were before in New York City. Can you give me an overview on the real estate license regulation? Is it also a difference between municipalities, or is it only on a state base that you need a new? Because I assume you're talking about the MLS license, correct?
Well, okay, so let me tell. Okay,
yeah. I think I'm mixing up two things.
No, it's cool. But I think I kind of get just what you're asking me. Maybe you probably want me to touch on a little bit on the New York license versus the New Jersey license and
Exactly.
differences in comparison. Let me tell you something. A New Jersey license, that's the hardest license to get. That's the hardest license to get. You know, if when you see somebody with a New Jersey license, they earn that license. You know, you literally got to know everything in that book, everything. You know, not you know, and the book is this big, and you got to know everything in that book. And not only that, it's not really straightforward. You know, when you study something, you study like a certain multiple choice, and you know, and then sometimes you go take a test and oh, you know, I remember this question. No. What do you do? They switch the a lot of the questions are really open-ended questions.
Okay.
So I would say that to get a New Jersey license, it's not an easy task because of the fact that you know you really have to know the book inside and out. And in New York City is different. In New York City is a little bit more leniency from my perspective. You know, I felt like whatever I studied in the test in New York City was what I saw in the test.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like out of here. In New Jersey, no, I had to clear up my whole schedule, stay in the house 5-6 hours studying questions with my wife until you know, and then I eventually passed it. And also too, I would say Manhattan real estate is more. I would say it's more co-worker friendly. You know, I feel like Manhattan is one of those places where some people may think it's very competitive, very aggressive, but I felt like there was a lot of I feel like for my hey, this is my opinion now.
Go ahead.
From my perspective, I feel like you know the collaboration with being agents in Manhattan was very professional. I felt like the goal was a common goal, Gene, let's make money, versus other areas where you know, no, I'm not co-working my listing with you. I'm not, even though a lot of them did co-work with me, but it wasn't, a lot of people wasn't really forthcoming, you know, so that's the difference. I felt like in New Jersey, the agents were a little bit more aggressive than Manhattan. I mean, who would have thought that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You expect the hardest elbows next to you in Manhattan and in New York City, and not in New Jersey. How about, I also asked about the MLS. Do you then also listing those properties, and then therefore you pay like a monthly fee in order to be able to list and promote those properties on the MLS?
Yeah. As far as the MLS and in New Jersey, you have to be the same thing as New York City. The first thing first, you got to be a member of a board. It's called in New York City. I was a member of REBNY. You know, pretty much REBNY kind of, you know, have guidelines and rules. They have different things that they want you to follow. They have outlined ways they want you to interact with clients and stuff like that. So for you to be a member of that group, you know, you have to carry yourself a certain way. And by being a member of that group, they give you access to be a part of the MLS, you know, and the MLS, it's an incredible thing because, you know, you have access to maybe 6,000 or 7,000 agents. If you put your property in front of 7,000 agents who also have access to hundreds of different clients, you know, that property is going to go really quick, right?
Yeah.
Also, to, you have
it's always matching buyers agents and sellers agents, I assume, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So but then in New Jersey, it's pretty much the same thing. You got to be part of this association, and then also then you can be part of you have the Garden State MLS. You have New Jersey, to be honest with you, will have at least 4 or 5 different MLS that you got to be part of. And I think it adds up to like maybe $1,500 or maybe $1,200. So every year you do gotta pay.
Wow.
You know, it's like to be honest with you, the MLS, it's like the toolbox from the. You know, if you don't have the MLS, you don't have your screwdriver, you don't have tip measure, you really can't function without it, to be honest with
Gotcha.
you. But, yeah, but what I've done, in addition to the MLS, sometime if I have problem moving a property or getting things done, I use social media.
Mhm.
I use Facebook, I use LinkedIn. Those. To be honest with you, you get a lot of really solid clients from those different different
And
places. Yeah.
and there you put some budget into it, or is it that you just put it on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, or on your feed, or do you also run ads behind?
Yeah, I try to run a little bit of ads on Facebook, and then on LinkedIn I just put it out there. I have over 16,000 followers, so
Yeah,
my followers they're very cool with me, and I support them, they support me. So whatever I got going on, if they can try to connect me with somebody, if they can try to help assist, then they do, and vice versa. Yeah.
gotcha. Perfect. Give us now a quick overview on your service offerings. What are you doing exactly? When should people reach out to you? What is it basically what you're offering as a service?
Okay. As a service, I pretty much just want to help people navigate the ins and outs of the real estate in the northern part of New Jersey. We have a lot of nice, beautiful neighborhood. One of my favorite neighborhood that I recently kind of like really, really almost fell in love with is it's called Vauxhall, New Jersey. It's in Union County, and then you have Montclair, you have Springfield, you have Maplewood, you have Irvington, East Orange, South Orange. If you're trying to move over to New Jersey, I can definitely assist you with the process and kind of, will be there with you to walk you through the whole process. And also, too, the other thing I want to share is that on the high end side, I have access to certain assets, and I can keep whatever it is that we do confidential, because I know that in those type of dealings, buyers or sellers, they want to keep things quiet, and I have experience in that regard. So those are the type of things I'm focusing on, and then the third thing that I focus on is I didn't really touch on it that much, is the Bitcoins. If for instance you are a high net individual and then you would like to maybe transact um a decent amount of coins, and you don't want to do it on the exchange, I can definitely play a middle person and assist you in doing so. I think that's pretty much it. And also too, I would say that I focus in doing business in New Jersey, because now I currently live here. I can definitely walk you through the process, and also too, I still do business in New York City. Those are the two places where I do business at. Um, I think that's about it. And
Perfect.
yeah, that's about it.
I have one more question concerning challenges and what you think if I buy, what do you think is like, what should people take care of before buying and while buying? What do you think is like the most important thing as a first-time home buyer to really have like the antenna alerts on and making sure that you don't get screwed over or nothing bad happens?
Okay, you know what? That's a good question, but something else came to mind. The other thing I want to add is that one of the reasons why it's a good reason to buy in New Jersey is because, like I said, New Jersey is the same as the times when the investors were buying into Williamsburg, Bed-Stuy, Bushwick. So for investment purposes, this is the perfect place to buy, and this is the perfect time before the prices go up. If you wanna build your investment, and then this is the best place to do it. But you only have a short amount of time to do so before price go up, and before it's too late. Just like it is in Bed-Stuy right now, or Williamsburg, it's already too late. The ship done sailed, but right now this is the perfect timing to do so. Even though the market is kind of bad. But if you have cash and then you want to invest, this is the perfect time, perfect timing, perfect opportunity. And especially when there's not really a lot of buys on the market right now because of the simple fact, a lot of people are not qualifying. Like I said, I had like over 10 to 12 clients. They're not qualified because it's too expensive for them to afford the loan. The other thing I would say is that, the first thing you want to do when you decide to buy a house, the first thing you want to do before you even get your hopes up, before you start looking at properties, before you fall in love with neighborhoods, and the first thing you want to do is you want to consult with a mortgage lender, or maybe your local bank. Help them ask them to run your credit, see where you are financially. I have a guy that I work with. His name is Craig. He's the best at what he do, and he's very honest. He'll let me know, Gene, this guy don't qualify. Not only that he will say that, but he will also let me know, this is what you can do to qualify. Or he may say, you don't qualify right now, but maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in 6 months. And then he also have programs where he offers you that, if you get into the program, he will work with you maybe a year or two. We may be in a space where we start looking at property. So and also too, and to make sure, and the other thing is to avoid losing your money. Always make sure that that you're honest. If you put a deposit on a property, and then before you put a deposit on the property, make sure that this is what you want to do. Make sure that you want to move forward, because once you put a deposit down, you will not be able to get get that deposit back unless there's a valid reason why you're walking away from that property. You can't just say, I changed my mind. And sometimes these deposits the deposits can be in the amount of 10,000, 16,000, 20,000, stuff like that. And also too, the other thing is, listen to your agent. If they tell you yeah, we're not gonna tell you what to do, but we'll definitely be honest with you. Like I would tell you, like, hey, listen, man, I have another property for you. I don't think this one's it. And then I'll let you know the reasons why I don't think it is. I'll give you all the pros, all the cons, and whatever outweighs the other, then that's the direction you should be moving. But if you don't move against it, I'll let you know many times that this is not it. Matter of fact, not only that this is not it, I have something else better than this. And a lot of time, people are very emotionally engaged in certain properties, certain neighborhood, and then they may decide to go with something that's a headache. I had a client that I helped her buy a house that was a headache, and then lucky for me, I was connected to a handyman who decided to do the work for her, and the work should have cost over 30, 50 grand. He did it for over like 21, 22. I mean, this is unheard of. The guy said, Gene, to be honest with you, I only do this for you because I know you're going to keep giving me business. But this person just got lucky. You understand? I mean, she could have just got stuck with a bad property, and then it's not livable. So you got to be very careful. And also, too, just make sure that you align yourself with an agent. I want to make money, but, money's going to come. But I didn't get into this business to just make money, but I really get into the business to help people. And in the process of helping people, I became wise. I became, God, of course, gave me wisdom. And then in the process, I became profitable. And so I feel like that's the best way to go about this business, just helping people genuinely.
That's very nice. Oh, I like it. Perfect. How can people reach out to you once they are interested in a good broker in New Jersey, and like what you've just said, and are interested in home buying?
If you know what, I'm just gonna be direct. I'm just gonna give you my cell phone number. Is 347-469-5789, and then you can also reach out to me via email. My email address is my first name is JEAN, middle initials H, last name is Delva, that's DELVA, and then that's at Gmail. I'm also on LinkedIn. That's LinkedIn. If you type Jean Delva, it'll pop up. I'm also on Facebook, Jean H Delva, and I think that's basically it.
Perfect. I'll put this information into the episode, into the description. Perfect.
Thank you so much, man. Mm-hmm.
Jean, thank you so much for your time. I really learned a lot, and I got a very great overview and update of New Jersey and also New York. Really interesting what's going to happen, also what has happened, yeah, you gave us a very, very nice and exciting idea also on how to conduct business and how to engage with the potential home buyers. I really like your approach of being super, let's say, direct, and also embrace on the one hand their situation, but also their desires and their dreams, and be very mindful. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your experience. Yeah, we talk soon, and sending best regards to New Jersey.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.